Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. Before I begin this video, um, I want to make an announcement. My wife has just given birth to our third child, my boy, and it's my first boy, and it's probably going to be my only boy. I think we're done after this, but I just want to say I may be making a video a week or a video every 2 weeks. It just kind of depends. He's happy and healthy. My wife is happy and healthy. Everyone's good. There was no problems or anything like that. But I just want to let you guys know if you don't see me for a minute. That's the reason why my family will always come first. But I really love doing this. I really love the interactions I have with you guys, and I think I hit 33 subscribers, which is really cool. So thank you all for your support and everything. So if you don't see me for a minute, that's why. Okay, I will try to stay engaged and post and stuff, maybe making polls about things. So if you want to interact with me that way, you can. I do have a Twitter or an X. You look up Hoosier Normie. It's the same with my profile picture, but I rarely use it. But you are more than welcome to go follow me. I think the more followers I get on it, the more engaged I will probably be on there. But I don't know. It's we'll see. We'll see. I made it when I made the channel, and I rarely use it. I will still keep making content if you like what I do and everything. But just to let you know, at least for the next couple of months to a year, I will at least be making a video once a week or once every 2 weeks. But thank you again for your support. I really appreciate every single one of you. I said it before, I said it at the end of my videos, but I never thought I would hit even 10 subscribers. The fact that I have like 33 now is mind-blowing to me. I never thought I'd hit that number ever. So thank you all so much. But I'm talking too much. Let's go ahead and begin the video. Now, my last video I talked about payment processors, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal, right? And what they were doing essentially was telling Steam, which if you don't know what Steam is, it's basically a platform for PC where you can download games and stuff like that. It's kind of like a third-party downloader. I may be saying that wrong, but it's where you get all your games for your computer pretty much. And it's very, very popular. It's been very, very popular forever. It's like the number one thing that people use on their PC when it comes to games. Now, and I'm saying this kind of weirdly because I don't exactly know how to define it, right? But you get the idea. You get your video games from Steam, right? And basically what they did was they said, Steam, now you listen to us. You can only sell what we tell you that you can sell. If you sell anything else, we'll pull our payment processing away. And how are you going to survive? Because these payment processors are basically, well, they're monopolized. What other payment processors out there do you see outside of Visa and MasterCard? Well, there's not too many, right? And I believe probably what they would do if you tried to use like another thing, like an app or something, like let's say you're using Venmo or something, and I'm not too familiar with the payment apps like that, but they could say, no, 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 no. We also have our Visa and MasterCard on these, and you're breaking our rules. So essentially what they're doing is they're strong-arming these companies, essentially strong-arming you, and telling them what they can and cannot sell and what you can and cannot buy. Now, right now it's under the guise of sexual content that they deem pretty bad, and I will admit some of it is degenerate, but that's not up to them to decide. It's up to us as the consumer to decide, right? We have blockers on our accounts for a reason, right? We have parental controls and stuff like that. Steam is very good at basically saying, hey, I only want to see this kind of content. I don't want to see this kind of content, right? They're very, very good at that. So this is kind of a thing where it's like you could definitely see them just saying this is well, we're just doing it with this stuff, but we can definitely see them kind of going to the well too much, right? And then eventually they're going to drain all that water out of that well and then tell us, hey, you can only get water from us now, right? But a while back ago, they did this bullcrap with Japan. There was a couple of manga sites that had some spicy manga on there. There was a couple of, I believe they were dating sites as well, but there was artwork on there that they did not approve of. And essentially, they told Japan, bend the knee or else. And what ended up happening was they pulled the payment processing away from them, and their support plummeted because, again, these companies have a monopoly on this, right? What other payment processor of besides Master, Visa, and PayPal or whatever, right? There's not too many. There's really not too many. So they suffered pretty immensely from this. So we're going to read two articles here. This first one is from Games Radar. This is from Issy van der Velde. I read an article from him before. He does a pretty good job. Again, this is Games Radar, and it's titled Steam Removing Adult Games Shows You Can Even Censor Other Countries' Free Speech, claims Nier creator Yoko Taro. Now, there's probably going to be Japanese names in this article. I will butcher them because, well, I'm a Midwestern boy. But let's go ahead and begin. Steam recently began to prohibit games that violate the rules and standards of payment processors and banks. It's a move which many consider a form of censorship. Well, it is a form of censorship, predominantly affecting adult games for now. Nier creator Yoko Taro says, not only is this bad for games, but it endangers democracy itself. Exactly. Think of things like cyberpunk and dystopian business corporate futures, right? Where the businesses dictate what you can and cannot do. And this is kind of what, like, when you play cyberpunk, I'm kind of reminded of cyberpunk when it comes to this payment censorship stuff. Yoko Taro tweets, as spotted and translated by automation. Here's the tweet here. Translation right here. Quote, about credit card payment companies refusing to process payments for illegal adult content, publishing and similar fields have always faced regulations that go beyond the law. I can imagine, that a lot of people may not like some of the content that we see. But again, that's not up for them to decide. But the fact that the payment processors, which is involved in the entire infrastructure of content distribution, exactly, like I said, they have a monopoly. The fact that they can do such things at its own discretion seems to me to be dangerous on a whole new level. Yeah, I've mentioned that in a comment. I can't remember the commenter's name. It was like Pokey something. But I was saying something how this is very dangerous, and I don't think a lot of people realize how dangerous this can be, essentially, because I think I said it earlier, I believe this is just the beginning, and if they get away with this, next is going to be something else, and then it's going to be something else, and it's just, they're taking those little steps, right? And then once we finally say, you're taking too many steps, then they stop. And then they're going to wait, and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait, and then they're going to continue. When we forget, they're going to continue to take those steps. That's what they're doing. So he's exactly right. They're telling these nations, hey, you listen to us now. Payment processors like PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard have a huge amount of power due to how integrated they are in global financial systems. Countries all over the world use them, so if one decides it won't deal with certain type of product, it becomes much harder to make money from it. Exactly. We went from only using cash to buying stuff, then we entrusted these banks and payment processors with our money, only for them to eventually do something like this, right? And it's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. Beyond just money, though, Yoko Taro warns, it implies that by controlling payment processing companies, you can even censor another country's free speech. Yeah, again, think cyberpunk. These businesses can tell the government what they can and cannot do, right? Let's see. Steam confirmed that its move to ban these games came after it was recently notified that certain games on Steam may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processors and their related card networks and banks. Let's see. The payment methods accepted by Steam here in the UK are PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, JCB, Skrill, PaySafeCard, and Trustly. Now, as an American, I have only heard of PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard. The other stuff I've never heard of, but I have heard of like the payment apps that you can use, right? But we have American Express here, Capital One, but I also think Capital One is like a MasterCard pretty much, right? Um, but it continues. These companies are from the US, UK, Sweden, and Japan, but they can determine what can be sold in many countries. Again, they don't have a right. I think that should be your government's right. Um, I quick side note for me, it's always weird to me that um, you have these companies that one like they ban something in the UK or something like that because European laws are different than American laws, right? But they ban something in the UK and then they want to try to ban it in the United States. It's like, well, why don't you just follow the rules that the governments have, right? Like, look at the Constitution for the United States and base your censorship stuff on that, and then base it off of other countries. Now, I believe that's going to be too hard. The work's going to be too hard for them, right? But that's what I was always thinking. Like, why don't they just do that? But that's just me being an idealist. Yoko Taro adds, I feel like it's not just a matter of censoring adult content or jeopardizing freedom of expression, but rather a security hole that endangers democracy itself. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It seems like they're just taking those little steps, and then finally, when they say, no, you're pushing too far, they're not even going to push back. They're just going to stay where they are, and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait until either we forget about it or something else goes on, and then they're going to proceed forward. I think that this is very, very dangerous, and something needs to be done collectively about this. So Australian anti spicy group Collective Shout has claimed credit for the change at Steam. Now, I don't know how true this is, okay, but they are claiming credit. It calls itself a grassroots campaigns movement against the objectification of women and the sexualization of girls. The group previously successfully stopped Target and Walmart in Australia from selling GTA 5. So it's a bunch of Karens who have nothing better to do with their time on a big old island that was initially for the undesirables. Sorry for any Australian viewers. That was really mean. I'm sorry. Australia looks like a beautiful country, but I mean, this right here is Karen Central here. So I pulled up this article here. So my camera never went back in focus, and it was really bothering me. So I have to reread this article all over again. But that's okay, right? It's just how it works out. I do want to say, though, I wanted to be kind of a little bit more clear on something. But when I said earlier about how it should be the government's responsibility to dictate the stuff, I want to be clear on something. I am not big on government. I think that the government should be, the less involved the government is on things, the better for me. But what I was essentially saying there, though, was if they are going to place bans on something or censor something, it should follow the rules and regulations of each individual country that they have set forth for their own people, right? It shouldn't be up to the businesses or anything like that. It should be up to the governments, is pretty much what I'm saying. But ideally, I wouldn't want the government involved, and I don't want businesses to tell me what I can and cannot do. So I just wanted to clarify that. But let's go ahead and read this article from PC Gamer. This is from Ted Leachfield, and it says, Australian anti-spicy group claims responsibility for Steam's new censorship rules and victory against I'm sorry. Well, I already said it. Horn-sick, brain-rotted PDF file gamer fetishes and things only get weirder from there. Got to be a little bit more careful, Hoosier. Let's see. Here's all the spicy images the Australians have found. Crazy. Collective Shout, not Collective Soul, the band, but Collective Shout, and I will probably say Collective Soul. Collective Shout, an Australian anti-spicy group, has claimed credit for Steam's new recent removal of a large number of spicy explicit games and new, stricter moderation guidelines regarding such material. In a statement to PC Gamer, Valve cited pressure from payment processors like credit card companies and PayPal for the move, while Collective Shout touted its open letter and consumer campaigns targeting payment processors for inciting that pressure. So they are taking responsibility for this. Whether it's true or not, I don't really know, but they have taken responsibility for this, and we will see here shortly the things that they have been involved in, at least in terms of Australia, what was banned and what was not. Take a sip of my sweet tea. This was first reported by Waypoint, which has since pulled its 2 articles on the subject without explanation. The article's author, Anna Valens, has alleged that Vice's parent company, Savage Ventures, removed the articles due to concerns over the controversial content rather than any error in reporting. So maybe they were afraid of the payment processors coming after them. Collective Shout began in 2009, co-founded by self-described pro-life feminist, the Karen pretty much, Melinda Tankard-Reist. Collective Shout described itself as a grassroots campaign movement against the objectification of women and sexualization of girls in media, advertising, and pop culture. To date, it has been involved in the unsuccessful efforts to ban Snoop Dogg and Eminem from Australia, a successful 2015 campaign to prevent Tyler, the Creator, from touring Australia, a successful 2015 campaign to pressure Target and Kmart to stop selling GTA 5 in Australia. I think between 2015 and 2020 was the Me Too stuff, so that kind of makes sense why a lot of people were kowtowing to that. A petition to ban the game No Mercy from sale, which ultimately led to developers pulling it from Steam, in an unsuccessful petition to ban Detroit Become Human from sale in Australia. That game wasn't that spicy, so I think it's just the fact that women got hurt in the game. So obviously we have a Karenocracy there in Australia. I feel bad for all of you over there. On July 7th, Collective Shout shared an update to its NoMercyChange.org campaign calling on supporters to email payment processors, including PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, and Discover, to demand that they cut ties with Steam and itch.io. Never heard of that before. Over hundreds of what do they say? I guess grapes, All in the Family, and child harm games. This was followed by an open letter from Collective Shout asking that they immediately cease processing payments on Steam and itch.io and any other platforms hosting the similar games. So again, a Karenocracy, these Karens have all got together to tell you what you can and cannot do because they don't agree with it. They have no problem with any kind of men getting hurt or exploited or anything in games. But with the women, apparently they have an issue. Here's the thing, guys. Like, there's going to be content out there that people don't like, but there are things out there that do serve a purpose for the story. I mentioned Berserk, right? The stuff that happens to Casca is important to the story. It's awful. It's really freaking awful, but it's important to the story. Now, are there games out there that are just like, oh no, step bro, I got stuck in the dishwasher, or the washing machine? Yeah, there are. Are there games out there where it's just like immediately so sexually gratifying? Yeah. There are games out there in books too, right? Just for the sake of being spicy. But still, it's not these Karens' responsibility to police the world. You do what you do and leave everybody else alone. If you don't like it, don't look at it. It's as simple as that. I don't like a lot of the stuff that I saw on Steam. You know what I did? I clicked the Do Not Show Me Again button. Oh my gosh, that's a thing? Holy moly! Just these people are insane, man. And they get a taste of this power, and then they're just like, now everybody has to listen to me because I'm right. I am the arbiter of justice. I am the arbiter of truth, and you will listen to me, or else, or else. And I have a feeling that these are the kind of people that would harass other people that they do not agree with. But it continues. Collective Shout later wrote that 1,067 individuals called and emailed payment processors as part of this campaign. It's unclear when Valve updated the TOS for developers, but the mass deletion of sex games appears to have begun on July 15th, judging by SteamDB's recorded package changes. On the 18th, Valve confirmed to us that this was in response to pressure from payment processors. Now, I'm sure a lot of payment processors don't get a lot of phone calls asking to ban something because it's selling something else. Now, they probably kind of freaked out a little bit, but at the same time, it's not that many people in retrospect, right? You think that these payment processors are global, and that is just not even a drop in the bucket, right? That is very minuscule compared to what is truly out there. And it kind of tells me, because this has been going, they've been kind of asked, not this group, but people and governments have kind of been asking these payment processors to be a censor in the online sphere of things on the internet since 2013 at least. And again, they're taking those little steps. They're taking those little steps until we say, hey, whoa, hold on there, cowpoke, what are you doing? And all they're going to do is wait. They're just going to wait because they've got that taste of, hey, we can control the masses. And that's what this is. It's all about control. Here is the tweet. This is Melinda. I will say, before I go any further, I don't have a huge outreach or anything, but for those of you who do watch this, don't contact any of these people. Don't say anything to them. Just leave them alone. Pretty much. Don't harass them or anything. That's not cool. Collective Shout claimed victory that same day. Since we launched, this is a quote, since we launched our campaign calling on payment processors to stop facilitating payments for Grape, All in the Family, and just stuff against children themed games on Steam, they have added a new rule to their policies, plus removed hundreds of these games, the group wrote on Twitter. Now, this quote will come up a little later, so we'll read it a little further down. But in the following up tweets, Collective Shout wrote that it was experiencing harassment from misogynistic gamers over the campaign. Of course they were. Of course they were. Because if you disagree with them, you're just a misogynist. As Asmongold says, that's been patched out. That stuff doesn't work anymore. Screw you. Screw you. I can have an opinion. And that there remains 82 games tagged with Grape and All in the Family. That the group will continue campaigning to have taken down. This is of a claimed 500 games that the group took issue with. Again, it doesn't depict real people and real events. It's totally legal. So fuck off, pretty much. I try not to swear on this channel, but this stuff really pisses me off when people try to censor you. Those numbers do not add up, though. Counting up all removed and retired games on SteamDB since the 15th, I got 456. So they embellished just a little bit, but that includes double counts for most of the offending games, many of which were both removed and retired. DLC and demons for those games also given the double R treatment. And a number of unrelated games that were taken off Steam during this time. I think I'm going to sneeze. If I sneeze, I apologize. This is the quote that she says, Melinda here. All these spicy, sick, brain-rotted PDF gamers, fetishes, so desperate to get their hands on Grape, My Little Sister, All in the Family games, They're now exchanging clues on how to find them so that they don't all die overnight. Collective Shout co-founder Melinda Tankard-Reese tweeted on July 18th. Later that day, she shared a long tweet thread further claiming victory with Steam's decision. Now, again, it's a Karenocracy over there. They're trying to dictate what we watch, we don't watch, everything. Again, I think they got just a taste of power, and they cannot stop. You do not have a right to tell people what they can and cannot do, no matter how degenerate or disgusting it is, or you perceive it to be. Just, you don't. Sorry. The two retracted articles from Waypoint appeared to be the first among the game's press to point out the connection between Collective Shout and the recent changes on Steam, a connection which is public knowledge by Collective Shout's own statements and not allegations made by Waypoint against the group. The articles remain available on the Wayback Machine, and I have reached out for comment from Savage Ventures regarding their deletion. Anna Valens and two other Waypoint writers, Sean Cichaki and Matt Van Vaten. Sorry, dude, that's too much. Have all resigned from the site. I stand by all my retracted articles, especially the Collective Shout ones, Valens said in a statement to PC Gamer. I fact-checked every article's content rigorously. I believe Collective Shout and its related organizations deserve further journalistic investigation by other reporters in the games industry. I hope more writers look into the clear and obvious signs of payment processor-based censorship that are occurring towards Steam and have occurred against PixIV, itch.io, DL Site, Gumroad, Patreon, and other sites. This is likely far from over. Collective Shout is no doubt feeling emboldened by a second public success in its efforts to police content on Steam specifically. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. The games I saw removed from Steam in this wave all featured risable content and suspect quality, but Collective Shout has a broader anti-spicy, even anti-expression remit that it has demonstrated in the past. Okay, that is it for the article. Again, this was written by Ted Leachfield. You have some information there. The articles will be placed in the description below. But, yes, that's pretty much it. You have... Like I said, this has been going on for a while. A lot of people wanted the payment processing companies to at least censor the internet in some sort of way. And we've seen efforts to a bit in the past. Remember SOPA and PIPA and stuff like that. We've seen efforts to police the internet, right? But again, it's there's a lot of the stuff that I it's very degenerate. It's very gross. But it's not my right to tell you what you can and cannot do. All I can say is, yeah, that's pretty disgusting, dude. That's it. But if that's your thing, that's your thing, right? And it's not depicting real events, nothing like that. It's not technically illegal. So, I'm not going to tell you, hey, knock it off. And you shouldn't tell other people that either. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This video went on a little longer than I expected, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this. I try to engage with everybody as much as I can, but let me know what you guys think about it. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you did not like the video, thank you for watching for so long. You could leave a dislike if you would like to, but hopefully one day I can earn your support and subscription. Speaking of subscription, please subscribe if you want to. I do all of this for fun, but I really love doing this. But yeah, I have nothing else I want to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.